take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
Morning, everybody. What is up? Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Big day for America, big day for the country. I am, of course, referring to the NFL trade deadline today. Palantir earnings is big national news, so we'll talk about that as well. We'll have Kenny Glick on the show. We'll have Todd Sohn on the show. We'll have Patrick Donawilla on the show. A lot going on today. Let's get right to it. Smash the like. Here we go.
Okay. So I know some people don't think that this world that we live in is a simulation. You know how there's people who think that this is like the first time that we do this? Right now, the betting odds have Trump at 61.8% and Kamala at 38.2%.
What? How did that change so fast?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Really changed that much. I'm just specifically referring to the 61.8 and 38.2.
Oh,
Steve Strazza, which you might be familiar with as a one golden ratio.
I don't see that. I'm seeing 55-52. What are you looking at? Poly whatever?
I'm specifically referring to the poly market. Literally, I'm looking at 61.8 and 38.2.
Haven't they proven that they're going to be the most aggressive though?
No, nobody's talking about. I'm not talking about who's going to win and who's not going to win manipulation. I'm just referring specifically to the golden ratio this morning in the betting markets. That's it.
Fibonacci is your homeboy.
I mean, he's apparently everybody's homeboy. No?
Keeps showing up.
Is that just a coincidence or is this really just a simulation?
I've learned that every time you ask if something is a coincidence, I'm supposed to say it's not.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not. I'm just asking. 38.2 and 61.8. I mean, that stands out to someone like myself.
That should be on the bingo card. JC asks something as a coincidence. I got to add that.
We got to add that. Is that a coincidence?
Yeah.
Yep. Probably not. All right. So we have an election. Do you guys think that there's going to be a winner tonight?
Oh, I don't want to go there.
I think we have to go there because is that not the biggest risk for the market? Is the biggest risk for the market that there's no winner tonight?
Hands down. Yep.
It's not. It's not
the biggest risk for the market. What is?
No, because this is a risk that has been so well advertised and it's been talked about. I was at a money show this time 2 years ago in Orlando, and the man gave a keynote presentation about how at the next presidential election, he was a New York Times author, just wrote a new book about it, how at the next election, we weren't going to know our president, not just for days, not until the next morning, but for like weeks. And talk about how big of a risk that is. Everyone is talking about this. Everyone is ready for that. I think the surprise is that there's a decisive winner. This is over by tonight or tomorrow morning, and it's a massive upside surprise. That's what we're set up for.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Strazza. I think a lot of market participants are aware of that risk, which may not have been that apparent in prior elections, right? Also, and I think this time around, people are prepared for it. You're making a good point. Strazza makes a great point.
And at the end of the day, right? So market people can have opinions or outlooks for events that might occur in the future. That doesn't always mean that there's a good way to invest in them. In other words, if that's your thing, right? We're not going to have a president. We're not going to know. It's going to be a big mess. It's going to be contested. How do you buy that theme? It's gold, right? Everybody's going to say gold. You buy gold. My point is, no one really knows.
But let's say, okay, let's play this game. Let's say there's no winner tonight, and you have that information ahead of time. Let's just say, what's the trade? You short S&P futures. Is that the trade?
I would want to own more dollars than anything in that situation.
You think dollar rips? You think that's what it is?
It's the ultimate safe haven. Okay, right. So if you're telling me shit really hits the fan, markets are panicked. We don't know who our next president is. I want to own more dollars than anything.
So
It's not sexy. That's
so
my
then
point.
hold on. So
Not
in that
fun.
environment that there's no winner tonight and dollars are going up, rates are going up too then.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't
It doesn't
expect
make sense to me
go
either.
up.
That's why I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Yeah.
would. I don't know what to tell you.
We're going to go into the state of the markets right now, but just throw up slide 6 quickly. Spencer Israel, one Steven Strazza Jr. You're Steven Strazza Jr.?
I'm not a junior. No,
Why? Because you have different middle names?
that's right.
All right. I'm a junior.
Yeah, I mean, I could be a junior for purposes. Did I ruin your bit? Do I need to be a
Ken
junior?
Griffey was a junior.
He was. He was a great.
You're
junior.
not, so you're not that cool.
at this.
Your father's way cooler than you are anyway.
Yeah.
So here we're looking at the US dollar and the US 10-year yield. And I'm not disagreeing with Strazza that if there's no winner tonight, then the safe haven trade is dollar up. But if dollar up, based on this, that means rates up 2, bonds down. Strazza, it sounds to me like if you think that there's no winner tonight and shit is hitting the proverbial fan, that the dollar goes up and bonds go up too? Is that what you're thinking?
This is as tight as it gets, huh?
This is why we get paid the big bucks.
People are telling me the craziest things. I was at the barber shop the other day. I learned all about these secret societies and the Build-A-Bear. And there's like an international cop force, and like they're like letting bad people out of prison. It's crazy, dude. This runs deep. There's a lot going on out there.
The barbershop conspiracy theories are some of the top.
Hardcore. Like we got into it because you're stuck in the chair. Like they pin
stuck
you
in the chair, and they're holding scissors, so you better not disagree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of I go get a haircut in the hood, but they're like a bunch of like Puerto Ricans, like they're harmless.
And then here, let me just every now and then I want to say something serious on the show. It is rare, but like today, we're canceling Twitter Spaces. You probably want the televisions on
Canceling
and
Twitter Spaces. What is this?
As little as possible. No, because here's the truth. Regardless of what side you're on, the state of American politics is so sad. We should all demand better.
What's sad about it?
This is a joke.
Hold on. What's sad about it? Explain to me what's so sad about it.
Anything anymore. A news headline. Bro, I saw this letter about the squirrels yesterday. I'm like, that's a funny joke. Like, who did that? That was a real letter. He's talking about squirrels. Presidential election is today. He's complaining about a dead squirrel.
But what does that have to do with politics
out here?
But what does that have to do with politics?
He's the Republican candidate.
Who's he?
Donald Trump is talking about squirrels. My point is, it's just madness. And it didn't always. What?
Is it really madness?
Yeah, dude, it's bad. It's bad. It's really. I used to enjoy, little politics in my life.
I don't know. We have like balance of powers. We have Congress and judicial. I mean, like, is it really that crazy? I mean,
dude,
I think, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think people think it's crazy. The media wants you to think it's crazy. I don't necessarily think it's that crazy.
Go talk to your friends, man. Just go.
I talk to my friends every day.
Crazy.
I don't see. I think people are. I don't know. I think people are bad to I don't really see the problem here. I don't see what people are freaking out about, to be honest.
It's just it used to be a far more respectable process.
Dude, you're turning into like this old man yelling at the sky. Like,
no,
what are you?
I'm just thinking.
Like, in my day.
No, I'm
like when doctors were smoking cigarettes, like in your day. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
What am I talking about? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That was a great take. There are people who live outside of the United States who are looking at the shit show that has become American politics and just laughing at us more and more every day.
I'll take these over there any day of the week. Are you kidding me?
No, you're wrong.
Are you serious? Come on. Yeah, I'll take the other side of that. I think the world's never been a better place. And I think that people that consume too much media think the opposite. I don't know. I'm not into this gloom and doom, like angry stuff.
I'm not into it either.
I don't think it's that crazy. I don't see what the problem is.
No, it's gross.
Is it?
Gross.
All right. Yeah. But is it the politics that's gross, or is it the media?
All right, let me ask you something. Do you think, so we have a two-party system and we're stuck with that. Don't you think that the two parties should agree on more things than they disagree on? They don't agree on anything anymore. Just 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could come to the middle and find a lot of compromise and agreement.
Yeah,
They're so far away from each other.
That's been the biggest change. Is the number of moderates has really shrunk, right? Yeah, and everyone has really gone to their corners. You have the people on the left, people on the right, and there's very few in the middle. People claim they're in the middle, but
I don't know. Stock market's at all-time high, poverty's at all-time
Right.
lows, unemployment's at all-time lows. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the problem. I don't see what everybody's so angry about.
I know. As long as the market's doing well, we're all good, right?
And everybody has jobs and the lowest poverty levels in world history. And I mean, I don't know. Medicine continues to improve. I mean, I just don't see the problem.
Okay.
I think people are looking for reasons to be angry. I don't see the problem.
I'm not angry. I'm sad.
No, not you. I know you're fine. You're living in Key West. You make a few bucks. You play golf all the time. You're fine. No one's talking about you, bro.
Played a lot of golf this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Living where people vacation. Yeah, real first world problems down there.
Not about that.
I know it's not about that. I know. Can we talk about the market? Let's talk about something important.
If we don't talk about Palantir soon, I'm going to lose my mind. This was the best earnings report since NVIDIA 6 quarters ago.
6 quarters ago. Wow.
6 quarters ago.
Spencer Israel, please.
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Dow futures this morning. Not doing much. 42,000 for the Dow, up a smidge. For the Dow. Let me just get my quotes up right. All right, so we got the S&P 500 futures up 0.25%, 57.56. And we've got the NASDAQ 100 futures up about 0.33%, 20,160. 30-year bond futures are flat, still at 117. Crude oil up another 0.5%, pushing 72. Copper up 1.33%, pushing 4.5. Gold up 0.25%, 27.50. Silver up 1%, pushing 33. Shout out silver. With the volatility index still pushing 22. Over in funny money land, we've got Bitcoin up 1,000 points. That's 1.3%, pushing 69 for those that partake. Ethereum 24.40, up almost 2% on the day. Solana 163, up 3.5%. Shout out Solana. I'm going to stop quoting Binance because it sucks. 560, up 1.5% today. I think Binance, until you're hovering over 650, I think I'm going to leave you alone now. Total crypto market cap, Spencer Israel, 2.25 trillion. With the Bitcoin dominance still above 60%. Shout out Pepe Coin, up over 4% this morning. What stands out other than the Pepe, Spencer?
No, the Pepe was, I have to confess, was not on my radar this morning. Palantir was on my radar this morning. Steve's point, but Pepe, I do not have Pepe quotes up on my screen.
Well, maybe you should. In meme land, before we get into something more substantial, when Strazza gets back in here, just in meme land, things continue to move. The Donald Trump SPAC, which I would continue, I can still consider it a publicly traded meme coin, is up 10% in the pre-market. That's 20-something percent this week alone, after getting cut in half very quickly after rallying 365%. So that thing continues to trade around. But looking at more traditional meme tokens, you've got the dog with hat up 8% today. The Doge up 7% today. I want to talk about with Strazza if the Doge is a Trump election trade, and if this evening we should be watching Doge futures, or not Doge futures, but Doge trading in the after hours market. What about the Mu? Mu up 6.5%, Bonk up 6.5%, Popcat up 7%. You got the Shiba 6%, Mog 6%, Floki up 5%. Pepe, like I said, up 4%. You've got the Harry Potter Obama coin up 4%. These things are moving. Brett is Pepe's best friend, up 4%. Baby Doge up 2%. I mean, they're all up. Even the Geo Bowden up almost 2% today. So these things are moving. Both the publicly traded memes and the traditional memes.
JC, should I mention our stream tonight?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, so we're doing a little
surprise.
Yeah, not so much to talk about the election, but to talk about the reaction to it via the futures markets. So here it is tonight, right here on the channel. Where's my screen share? There it is.
Did you know, Spencer, that reactions?
Wow. First of all, I don't know who gets credit for this thumb. It's a hell of a thumb.
My instructions were make it patriotic.
Wow. So who did that? Was that Izzy?
Yeah.
How come
Dude, that's pretty good. It looks like we're like on fucking CNN or some shit. God forbid. Could you imagine?
How come JC's tanner than me?
I think it's just like the shadow.
Yeah.
Because you live in Key West. I'm in the Northeast. So
Yeah.
Oh boy.
no excuses.
Okay. So
Spencer Israel looks like he's 12. Spencer, mix in a new picture there, huh?
Who's that guy?
We got to get that Abe Lincoln, you know,
Handsome guy.
right? No?
Listen, did you guys know this? Listen, trust me. Reactions to political events, even elections, tend to occur, like all events, really. I would say, except for government stimulus. That's the one different one. Like all other events, these reactions tend to occur in the direction of the underlying trend. In other words, there's going to be volatility. Probably going to be volatility today, tonight, tomorrow morning, probably for the rest of the week. Who knows? Once that volatility abates, right, and passes, then the underlying trends are likely to reassert themselves. And the things that have been going higher all year probably keep going higher over time. And the things that have been going lower all year, the past couple of years, probably keep going lower. So we do have that to use as a signpost to guide us through these volatile times.
Great point. So we'll be live tonight talking about the reaction, various futures markets, U.S. markets, global markets, currency markets, commodity markets. So come hang out a little bit and
throw up the thumb one more time so people
watch
can really
us react to the reaction.
Throw up everybody join us today. Sign up. That's not it, Spencer.
JC,
Oh, currency
That's the
markets
wrong
link.
That's not it.
All right.
JC, do you have that that bit that you and Julie did back in the day when you played president?
We can find that. We can find it.
Wow.
So hold on. Everybody look at Spencer on the left. He does not look like Ernest Hemingway at all.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
No.
We all know that if Ernest Hemingway and Abraham Lincoln had a Jewish baby in New Jersey, it would look like Spencer Israel. And that picture right there doesn't look like any of those guys. So
Listen,
fix it.
I got to be honest. Mine's dated too. My skin doesn't look that good anymore.
Yours is dated too. I'm the only one that still looks good, you know?
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Can we talk Palantir?
Can you imagine a Cuban president? Oh, man. We'd have platanito maduro frito with a little lechon. Oh, man. That would be something, man. That White House would be popping off. No? Okay. Can we, all right, let's go over a few of these things. I want to ask you, let's just go through the, go through the betting odds just quickly. I know that most people don't trust it. I don't, you know, whatever. Let's just go through it. Right now, Polymarket has a 62% chance of Trump, 38 for Harris. Go to Kalshi. So Kalshi, slightly less Republican is my understanding. 57 for Trump, 43 for Harris. And then Predicted has been the closest one for quite some time. This has been the one that's leaned more towards Harris over the last couple of months. And it has Trump slightly above Harris, but it's pretty much the same. So some people don't trust this data because they think it's four people behind some closed doors manipulating this market. And that may or may not be true. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not one of those four people. The question is, are the people questioning that legitimately questioning whether these markets are being manipulated, or is it that they don't like what they're seeing, so they are therefore coping by questioning whether they're legitimate or not, right? That's a real question. I don't have the answer, but that's the kind of thing that I want to think about. So let's just do this, Strazza. Let's assume that four rich Republicans behind closed doors are manipulating these markets, and they're completely useless. What do you think is the best indicator for the result of the election, and what are you going to be watching today?
For the best information today? I'm sorry.
Yeah, best information today. What do you think? It's a good question, right?
I think cryptos are full of information.
So you think crypto. So if cryptos are rallying today, Trump wins. Is that your
I think you could look at the banks. It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
Other way around.
I think Trump wins. I think the swing states more or less all go red, and we get something decisive tomorrow, and that will be great. That's what I think, regardless of the price action today. Because JC, right? We've been watching the price action for a long time, and then we had a lot of volatility. What are you laughing at? We had a lot of volatility.
At the chat. JC, de jala mariconería is hilarious. Such a Cuban thing to say. Shout out TY.
Volatility in the betting markets like spike over the past week, and we've been all over the place. So I think we go back to the price action that's led up to this over the trailing weeks and months even now, and I think that's been pretty clear. And unless those kinds of trades like absolutely get slaughtered today, I don't think there's a signal, right? If KRE is down 5% today, sketchy for sure.
If KRE is down 5%, you're looking at a Harris victory, or at the very least.
Yeah, but you need a big move. Like, you need a big move at this point. I don't think today's action will. We're here. I think you just sit on your hands today. You do nothing.
I am not going to sit on my hands, and I'm telling you why.
You're going to buy the DJT, aren't you?
I am not going to buy the DJT, but we can talk about it before I tell you what I'm going to do. Throw up slide 2 there. The reason that I'm not trading the DJT is because I don't see an edge here. The stock went up 365% in like a hot second. It was the best performing stock over that 30-day period on the planet. And then it got cut in half. And now this week it's bounced 20%.
Dude,
I got nothing. I see we're below this overhead supply. We're in this massive range. Like, you can trade DJT. I just personally don't see an edge here. Do you?
Like Billy's comment. No, there's nothing here. And here's the thing. With a company like this right now, there are no fundamentals. You don't even want to think about them. But eventually, a company with, what's the market cap on this crazy thing now? A couple billion, right?
A couple billion? No, man. This thing is almost 7.
7 billion. Okay. It's not a real business. It's an idea. It's a holding company for an idea. Like, go look at the earnings. There's nothing there.
Like 2 seconds ago, it was worth more than the New York Times.
Basically empty. It's exactly right. That's my point. So it doesn't matter right now, but that eventually matters, right? Because you got to like stay in business. You can't go bankrupt. Stock can't still be at 50.
What about the Doge?
I think the Doge is among the best vehicles. If you want to bet bullish Trump today, there's not many things I like more to use to do that than the Doge.
And what about
Doge will give you ample juice, let's say.
What about the Tesla?
I've been wrestling around my mind about adding Tesla to the IRA. Tesla, you would think also.
Maybe if you would listen to me a little bit more, it'd already be in your IRA, huh?
No, see, I have a problem where when I miss stocks like over and over and over again, like cycle after cycle, I just kind of like write them off as like nevers. And even when I shouldn't do that, done that with some great tech stocks, did it with Apple a long, long time ago. Now I'm going through it with Tesla. So we'll work through it.
Are you going to wait to buy the all-time high? It's a long ways away.
Take a long walk. Think about it.
Yeah, here's good advice from one Dr. Phil Perlman. Whenever you think the world's going to come to an end, just go for a walk.
All right, I want to talk
you the same question.
You're going to ask me the same question? What's the question?
You get one trade. Trump trade. What do you buy today?
If you tell me right now that we know that Trump's going to be a winner, what am I buying? Palantir.
What if you get to sell the news? What if you get to sell the news?
Throw up slide 2.
I'll bet like KRE puts are so expensive. You don't want to use options in this situation.
This is before today. Stock's
up
16% at 48. This is a gap above those prior cycles highs. And those of you who know me, and I know Strazza knows that I love this trade. When you get that gap and go, this is that. This is that.
So listen, Palantir just cracked the top 100 in terms of U.S. companies by market cap.
Did it?
This is officially a big boy. Yeah, they're close to 100 bill right now. And as a general rule, 100 bill gets you in the top 100 these days. Changes a lot. So they're there. This is going to be, in my opinion, one of the largest businesses in the world in the future. I don't know what the total addressable market is. Almost half of their sales come from the U.S. government. Them and Amazon are in the best position in terms of they have the best customer in the world. They're the 2 largest government contractors, to the federal government, the United States, and local governments too. The bottom line is, and you have to go listen to Alex Karp talk about this.
Dude, I'm getting text messages from Strazza last night about his new man crush.
Oh, he's first of all, you'll love him. Go look at what he says about like shorts.
I have some quotes. I want to bring on. I'm sure Kenny is trading Palantir, so I wanted to bring Kenny on to talk about this.
Good. We'll do more. There's plenty more to say about Palantir. We'll dig through the report a little bit. But but the bottom line is this company just turned profitable a couple quarters ago. Okay, and now they're making about 10 cents a quarter earnings per share. So they beat on the bottom. But the bigger deal is they're growing revenues at like 50% year over year. Like massive, depending on if you're looking at the U.S. government, U.S. commercial, foreign, that's not where the growth is anymore. They're focused on the U.S. and just crushing here, and that's all they really need to do. And Alex Karp is adamant about the fact that everyone who matters will be their customer in the future, and I believe him. And they just started trying to sell. We'll get there. Bring Kenny on.
All right, bring Kenny on.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Kenny Glick.
What up, homies?
I'm voting for Kenny. If you're voting for Kenny, take a picture at the ballot. You're voting for a one. Kenny Glick, a.k.a. the Warlock, a.k.a. the grandfather of day trading. In VWAP, we trust. Don't be a dick. Vote Glick.
I'm going to redo the shirts for everybody. So probably not winning this time.
What's moving this morning, Mr. Kenny?
Well, let's keep the Palantir conversation going.
Let's do it.
I bought the IPO because I read about the company, years before they came out. And to me, it sounds like they are the CIA. I'm in. I think the company's getting taken private eventually, and it's going to be $120, buyout by the government. So I'll trade it today, but usually I look for a fade. I'm not trying to fade this, but big fan. It's $120 stock if you have the time to wait, which is probably about 2.5 years in this market.
So you're not going to fade it, or you are looking to fade it intraday?
No, if anything, it was actually a long already because you had a little bit of profit taking, but and it did a little Kardashian there at the 47 zone, so it was actually still a buy.
Explain to the folks that are new around here what a Kardashian is.
Ooh, let me show you. Hang on a second. Let me get the chart up for you.
Show me your Kardashian.
Yeah, it's it's
big bottoms, big
right here. So again, I look for a stock that if it's going to fade, you want to be back below the VWAP, and it keeps holding it. So right here is kind of where I started watching, and it was about to roll. I thought, okay, maybe we do short it at 47. Never got there, and all it did was give me the nice little butt cheeks right there. And then over the 47.50, confirmed by the VWAP, over a 47.50, chances are it was going to go to 50. And, you had a little trade to get the juices flowing today. Now you're getting a little profit taking, but, it's to be expected. So, again, I'm a big fan. Any pullback, I'm a buyer. And I was hoping this thing was down 20% because every once in a while they throw this, 20% sell-off in the middle of a good earnings season, but not this time. So
so Kenny, would this be like some sort of bullish Andy Dufresne, or does it have to be down in the dumps for it to be an official Andy Dufresne?
Yeah, this was Andy Dufresne a while ago back here. So if you see the chart, there's the Andy Dufresne. That's after it became a meme stock, which kind of made me not like the name because I hate the word meme and I hate everything associated with that. Why do you hate the word
meme?
I just don't like it. And I don't like anything. Anytime a stock has a squeeze now, it's called a meme stock. Shut up. Let's move past that word to describe stocks because it's ridiculous. But again, yeah, down here, that's when it went from 10 to 50 or 45, and then it crashed. Andy Dufresne down here. I was just actually looking at this the other day. But again, you had these big sell-offs on some earnings reports. I was hoping one more time, but a chart like this thing's screaming $80. If it gets to 80, it's going to 120. Like the only other stock that I've been watching. So this is Reddit 2.0. I know it's not the same stock. Obviously, this is A-Lab. This IPO, did the same exact thing as the Reddit. You had a good open. Everybody was excited. It tanked, basically bound to the same price as Reddit. And now it's crossed back over and it's about to break out. IPOs that do this, that come back, this is an $80, now that it's in the 80s, chances are you're looking at a 120 name. But again, with this one, the fade is happening. So if you're looking at it right now, let me just get rid of all these red lines. But right now, it's fading. So if anybody is short, you're just looking at 86.50 to get the hell out of its way because it's probably going to resume its course back up. Especially, again, people are just looking for new names. This is a name that not many people talk about. And next year, probably within 18 months, you'll see it at $120. So I like it. It's in the semiconductor industry and, very nice stock.
And then what do you think is what do you think is going to be moving today the most? Like when you think Trump trades or Kamala trades, like where the volatility is going to be between today and tomorrow? Any names that should be on our radar? Maybe some of these prison stocks or solar.
Yeah, well, I mean,
China?
obviously the easy answer is the Trump stock, but what I did
Is
when
that the easy answer? It seems so difficult to trade. It's got to be something easier.
Tesla's the easy answer.
Is it? Is it? That's a valid point, is it?
Trump stock has been wildly easy to trade lately. It's every time it
I'm
sells
talking
off.
about now.
Yeah. No, well, right now you'll have some excessive volatility.
It's messy right now.
I haven't even looked at it right now, but let's take a look. So again, you're still hovering above VWAP. Easy short would be under that 36.75. But every time they wash this baby away, it comes roaring back just like it did already this morning. There's the faux show and then a broad. So you just wait for the setup. Again, that's like every trade. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm watching futures tonight, because last time it was just a massive overreaction. And then you had one of the best moves to the opposite way the next day. And then it followed through for not just days, but weeks. And it was like you were saying yesterday, a very, very, just a nice calm bull market started right after that night. So I think there's going to be a lot of overreactions. And I don't think we're going to have a president tonight. So it's kind of like
if you're right and there's no president tonight, what's the trade? Strazza said the dollar. What are you thinking?
I think the market's not going to like the uncertainty and we're going to give back some, and if it's in the tech sector, we're on shaky ground right now because we've been trying to
made a
sell
good
off.
point though, that a lot of that is already priced in because I feel like a lot of people just assume there's going to be no result tonight. It's going to be a shit show. So how much of that shit show is already priced in? With the volatility index at 22, by the way.
I think they're saying that out loud, but nobody really wants to believe we're not going to have a president by the end of the night. I think that's what it is.
You see those spikes in the put call ratios?
Yeah.
I agree, Kenny. People might say they're prepared. They're not.
Right. And listen,
I don't know.
at
22
this point,
put call ratio spiking. I don't know. I'm seeing some people preparing.
Well, UVXY died again. So when UVXY is telling me that you might be right that everything is priced in because there's no fear whatsoever. You had UVXY spike and then it gave it all back. So that really is your fear index. So
was it a Jerry all back?
If UVXY is above 30, you better not be long anything tonight. How about that? So if this thing, and if it's above 32.50, then we're freaking out. And which would be awesome because that always comes to a halt. And next thing you know, we start going back up. So yeah, I'm excited, and it's also my birthday. So I'll probably be just drunk with my wife somewhere and hanging out.
Oh, happy birthday, Kenny Glick. Oh shit, son. How old are you now? 33?
Put on another 20, 53.
Wow, you look great, dude. I hate to give you compliments. I wish I could be ripping you apart right now, but you look great. I can't say a word.
Yeah, I just survived sober October. That was fun.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Kenny Glick, the Benjamin Button of day trading.
I like that. Yeah. But listen, again, if you guys are around, come to the chat room. We're going to be live all day, all night. Probably won't even shut it off. So, if you're trading futures, you use VWAP, and it's fantastic. But seriously, UVXY is really important. UVXY is really important. Right now, it's telling us that a lot of what everybody's worried about is baked in.
All right. I agree
great stuff,
with that.
Kenny. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Later.
Everybody go join Kenny in the chat. He does a great job there. People love Kenny. Like Kenny's like we talk about like legends. Like Kenny like legitimately is like a legend. And by the way, I'm going to push back on you, Spencer, again. Like you're telling me that people are not pricing in the uncertainty. Like that's just factually incorrect. The put call ratio yesterday hit new 52-week highs. Like literally by definition, people are positioning themselves by buying that insurance. Like you're seeing it. New 52-week highs in the put call ratio with the stock market making new all-time highs. You don't think that that's people positioning themselves for the uncertainty later tonight?
I'm sure some are. No doubt.
Put call ratio, new 52-week highs today with the stock market at all-time highs. No,
Yeah, that's most likely insurance, no doubt.
most likely.
Yeah.
What do you think? It was a fat finger trade, Spencer? Come on.
Let's see what Todd Sohn thinks about this. The pride of Syracuse.
Before we bring it in, I want to hear Strazza. Strazza,
Yeah.
put call ratio hitting new 52-week highs yesterday.
Don't need it.
Don't need what?
I don't need it. You're asking me if I
saying
care?
that you need it. Nobody's saying
I
you
don't need it.
I'm saying, is that not people positioning
It
themselves
could be,
for
yeah.
later
Some of them
uncertainty?
are. Some people
Here's the
are.
problem.
52-week highs. What do you need? Some. Seems like a
No.
lot.
The options market is too dynamic. That data's no good. The options market has changed way too much. I'm sorry. You know it's true.
Are you one of these
this
zero
happened.
DTE conspiracy theorists now?
No, it's not. You can't look back now. It ruins the historical data set. It's as simple as that, right? When the dynamics of a market change so much, I'm not going to compare today's options trading numbers to
Oh my God.
5-10 years ago even. No, you can't. And the same thing
Todd
happens with
Sohn's feeling a
volume.
little bit uncomfortable with the amount of buttons that you have unbuttoned. Your chest hairs are sticking out, and
I'm feeling
Todd
myself
Sohn's
today.
feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
Everybody's going crazy today. I'm having a great day. I'm Stevie Chill.
Stevie Chill. Okay, Stevie Chill. Shall we bring in Todd Sohn? Speaking of legends.
Yo!
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Oh, Mr. Todd Sohn, how are you, my friend?
It's too many buttons.
It's a lot, Todd. It's a lot. This
I
early
don't know.
in the morning.
Who's Stevie Chill?
2 buttons. Yeah.
Stevie Chill. Todd Sohn's mic coming in hot today. How about that? I think it's the first time we can ever hear you.
But it'll cut out at some point.
Yeah. Did you get you got a new microphone for your birthday?
No, I'm still wearing AirPods like
All
a
right.
dummy, you know.
All right. I can't stop losing my AirPods, so I gave up. I'm like Steve Strazza. I don't need it. I don't need it.
I've been okay with them so far.
Listen,
Amazingly.
you want to know what the hipsters are wearing these guys. I
Yeah,
wear these. You know why I wear these? Because number
Okay.
one, I can't lose them. Number two, even if I'm not talking to anybody, when I'm walking around, people think I'm on the phone, so they just leave me alone.
Oh yeah, that's the move. I do that in the city all the time.
Yeah.
You don't need a cord to accomplish that.
I think you do. I accomplish. Yeah. You know, people want to talk to me, so I maybe people just don't want to talk to you, Strazza.
You can't pluck it out of your ear.
AirPods in the elevator is just one of the oldest tricks in the city, isn't it?
Elevator.
Yeah, because you don't want to talk to people, so you just leave your AirPods in. There's nothing.
Dude, when my sister moved to New York City, like this was like 15 years ago or something, 10 years ago, the first thing I told her is like, do not go in the subway without your headphones on. You don't want to hear what's going on there. Just do not do it. And she's like, okay, she thinks I'm crazy, but she listened to me. And then like a few months later, she calls me. She's like, I have to tell you, I forgot my earpods and I went into the subway without them. And you were right.
It's the truth. As a subway rider myself.
You don't want to hear what people are. You don't want to hear that shit, man. Just mind your business.
No.
And it's not that New Yorkers are mean or angry. They just don't want to talk to you. Like,
We're tired.
yeah. All right, Todd Sohn, I've got a question for you. So, you know, there's an election in America today. I don't know if you heard. I don't need it.
Today is the day Doc Brown hit his head on a sink. And
Is it?
And invented the flux capacitor.
November the 5th, 1955.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wow, it's a great call, Todd. Nice call out.
We got the election.
Todd, you guys do some great work over at Strategas in terms of political analysis. So, like, what is Dan thinking and telling clients these days?
Oh,
Who's
God.
Dan?
Dan Clifton is our Washington policy analyst. So listen, it's not for us.
Does he look at charts?
He does. He is a big chart guy. A lot of
Because I don't trust people who don't look at charts.
No, Dan's great.
He's excellent at what he does.
Yeah.
All right.
But a
You
different
think he's
lens.
cool? He's cool with me.
Yeah, he looks at markets through a different lens than say the three of us do.
We won't hold that against him.
But so I think the most interesting I could relay from him is that 3 out of 4 markets, and he looks at markets in the 3 months leading up to the election.
Like that.
3 out of 4 are saying a Harris win, and 1 is saying a Trump win. The 1 is the dollar, and then the
Trump.
S&P,
The dollar going up is a Trump win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indicator. You know,
Yeah.
And then the S&P yields, and I want to say the VIX too suggests a Harris win. Now, I could be messing this up.
I wonder how
That
yields.
sounds right, because with Trump, you could hate him or love him, but at least the market knows what it's going to get. With the Harris,
Yeah.
it's a big question mark, right? So that's why VIX up is Harris.
I thought the way
I
you're
believe
supposed to
so.
think about it is interest rates going higher is Trump, though. No?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not so sure about
Isn't
that.
interest rates going lower is Trump?
No. He should be the pro-growth candidate.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
But last time he was in office, he was basically abusing the Fed the whole time to keep rates low for him. So, these things can go
So
either.
I think it's he. At the end of the day, it's such a tight. Everything's tight. We don't know.
What does he
There's
think
no
about
idea.
banks and crypto as like Trump trades?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Anything
Good
there?
question.
I think the easy one is like you look at Bitcoin, you look at regional banks as supposedly more Trump friendly. The regional bank one I always have a tough time with. I can see it with crypto. I get that. And whether or not crypto goes on to make a new high could be related, could be not.
That's one of the more interesting developments, I think, this election cycle. Crypto picked a party for the first time ever.
Yeah,
right.
Because there's clearly a regulatory aspect to this.
Yeah,
and it matters because then you start getting the smoking fish in an ETF or whatever, and all that stuff that we like to talk about, the deregulation of it. So I don't know. I think a lot of his stuff that he normally works off of is very mixed. And then the other part is you don't have an incumbent.
Yeah.
Then you had a competitor who was president, then lost, and now is running again. That's the Grover Cleveland playbook right there, back in the late 1800s.
Twitter was going wild back then.
Yeah, I mean that was
It was hot.
Dow Transport's big back in it's Dow Transport's big playbook there. And he's been trying to be assassinated multiple times. So I don't know if any of these comps matter in this cycle.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah,
hey, you can't really backtest this one.
So let me ask you this,
it's just
Todd.
impossible. Yeah.
First of all, the chat on fire saying that Todd's got a great Seth Rogen impression.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, it's Seth Rogen. That's what I'm going by.
It's like it's like you don't even try.
You could do Seth Rogen for Halloween. You could do some good stuff.
I should do that. That comes courtesy of the compound of JB and Mike.
You smoke enough pot?
It should not.
I don't think you do.
No. You can't be Seth Rogen, though.
Yeah, you can't be Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching the Muppet Babies the other day, and Seth Rogen was on it.
He's awesome, dude. He does a
and
lot.
He was like sitting there talking to Fozzie, and like they're talking about comedians, and Seth Rogen's like, "I grew up watching you," and like Fozzie was like, "Waka waka." Like I was like, "What is going on right now?"
I love the Muppets.
Yeah, it was
Muppet
wild.
Big
Strazza
Muppet
is like,
fan here.
"What is happening?" Shout out Muppet Babies. Do you know they have Summer the Penguin? When I was growing up, we didn't have Summer the Penguin, which is a great name.
New character, newish character.
Yeah, newish character. She's cool. So tonight or throughout the day, I should say, and maybe even tomorrow, if there's no, winner or whatever, what are you watching as an indicator? You personally, forget your DC colleague.
Yeah.
Just personally, like what's on your radar? Just like as an American, forget as a trader or an analyst, or just as an American, like you're just kind of curious, the score of the game, if you will. What are you watching for that?
For the actual election
or
the market? I don't know. I'll turn on friggin' ABC News later.
Are you really going to do that?
I'll take a gander.
That sounds.
But terrible. I got more important. I got to watch the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix.
I heard it's pretty good.
It is good. I watched the first.
Her and Snoop.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the most interesting thing I can tell you. You guys were talking about put calls. They did spike yesterday. Somebody has anxiety into this. I think that happened in 2020. It happened in 2016. Happened in 2012. The good news is the market is in an uptrend into the election, and that usually continues no matter what the outcome is. If the market's in a downtrend, that usually continues no matter what the outcome is. Yeah. 2000, 2008. Best examples, especially 2000, because that was a contested election too.
Todd,
Right.
this is the single best and maybe like the only piece of election wisdom or advice I think that
Yeah,
people need to hear.
I mean, you can look at
He's just talking your book. You said the same thing 20 minutes ago.
we
That's
have
why he
we
likes
have
it so much.
Because
we
it's
have
true.
I
More
have it
people should
all
say
broken down, like looking at is the market in an uptrend on election day, and then what is the forward 3-6 month performance? And if you're in an uptrend, your odds are way better that the trend will continue.
Crazy.
No.
It's almost
No,
like
no, I'm just breaking balls. I agree wholeheartedly with all of that.
So then on top of this though, and maybe you guys have a different view on this. So I thought it was interesting that in the CFTC data that the VIX futures positioning was net long recently.
Really?
Yeah, or now it's probably a tiny bit net short. It's basically flat to long over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That usually only happens when the market has corrected a good chunk, not at a 52-week high or 2.5% off a 52-week high. It's really rare. And so if you just turn that into a Z-score, your two standard deviations above a 3-year average because the VIX is always short. So between the put call spike, long vol,
I wonder if that's even weird.
Shout out Z-score.
I wonder if that's
Yeah,
even
Z
weird
score.
ahead of elections, though, Todd.
I
Like,
think
I know what you're saying,
I think it's definitely an election dynamic, no
Gotta
matter
be,
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
think, because this was not the case in prior election scenarios. And so you usually only see long VIX futures positioning after a market correction or some sort of pullback.
Yeah, but Todd, doesn't that play into what we're seeing in crypto also with the commercial hedgers, the longest they've ever been, and we're at all-time highs? Doesn't that also
I guess another election dynamic that people want to play into. So I like that from a sentiment perspective, though.
Yeah,
Long
for sure.
vol, put call spiking. That to me is kind of interesting, and clearly a lot of anxiety. And then once this result is cleared out, ideally the market responds, or if not, then that's going to be new information as well.
Do you think that the election ends up being the catalyst that breaks out a lot of these ranges? Like if you look at a chart like the Russell 2000, it's like still trying to complete this base, or at least confirm it. Do they break out? The regional banks, do these ranges finally go? Some of these speculative growth indexes, any of the things you see the charts that have been sideways like all year. I just feel like they need some sort of a boost to blast them out of these ranges. And why wouldn't it be an event like this?
They're building. Look at VXF. That's all non S&P 500 companies. It's another one. Like
you're right.
It's kind of like the Russell. It's a little bit different constituency.
Vanguard Extended Market, right?
Yeah, I love that fund. It's where you find all the next S&P companies in there.
So it's everything after 500.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Anything but the S&P 500. So it's like, all right, I want to play small caps, but I also don't like the Russell 2000 because it's a crappy index.
Is there anything there from a size standpoint based on the election? Or do you overthink that? I always hear about small caps.
Yeah, small cap. I think we overthink it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, listen, if biotech runs and regional banks run, you clearly want to be involved in small caps then.
Right.
And some of the biotech names are interesting. I like what's going on in healthcare equipment too. Maybe some signs of life, especially as Lilly and Novo correct.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a rotation there. But back to your point, yeah, I think getting over this catalyst, kind of like what happened in 2016 and 2020 when everything then started to run once it was cleared. You had big moves from all those kind of coiled areas that haven't. Remember, the Russell 2000 hasn't hit a new high in 3 years. It's a long time.
What hasn't?
Russell 2000. 740 days or something like that.
Let me ask you this, Todd. Do you think that there's a high probability that this bull market ends without those small cap indexes breaking out to new highs, without the Dow Jones Transportation Average breaking out to new highs? Is there a high probability of that happening?
That would be strange, right?
It would be really weird, right?
I just that was the top 3 years ago. I feel like you needed, if there was going to be a top, I feel like you need one more big push. Plus, it's not like sentiment is euphoric. I don't get the sense sentiment is euphoric.
No.
The survey, like equity ETF flows are definitely strong. I get that. But then the survey data is it's bullish, but it's not crazy.
No, it's not. I mean, individual investors, granted, they're very emotional and erratic, but they are being emotional and erratic as the bulls are disappearing. Newsletter writers, a month or two ago had the biggest decline in bulls since the crash of 1987. You got the VIX at 22. Put call ratios making new 52-week
VIX,
highs.
yeah.
None of those things are euphoric.
I just don't. I feel like you need a whiff of euphoria like you had in 21, late 21, early 2022 before things top out. So, of course, yeah, you'll get corrections. The largest correction we've had this year is what, 8%? I'm not even sure if that's the correct number.
Nothing
You'll
meaningful.
you'll get the ebb and flow of markets like we always do, but I have a hard time thinking it might be a top like of that sort without those things getting involved and people getting crazy again.
What about this? Speaking of sentiment, you've got gold making new all-time highs. Silver's up 35% year to date. We're in a raging bull market with S&P's up 20% this year and whatever crazy number they put up last year. Gold and silver both dramatically outperforming equities. And speaking of sentiment, nobody seems to care.
Yeah. Gold ETF flows, yeah, they've perked up a little bit, but does not reflect what gold has done
At all.
which is really
Surprisingly
strange.
so.
I think it's because stocks and crypto have been so good. And to an extent, bonds, you're getting yield, all that stuff. That's part of, like, I don't know how true that might be, but I'd like to think it makes sense that, okay, people just ignored gold.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because the stock market has been so strong and everybody's making money, it's not like this, like, oh my God.
Yeah,
That's a
like
good
I
point.
gotta go to gold. There you go. So and you can clearly see that the crypto demand is massive compared to the initial gold demand. Now, clearly different markets today versus 20 years ago. But it's been strange to me. And even something like palladium, if you
Oh, yeah.
wanted a bottom fish, that's an interesting area.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of
and
positioning.
then we'll see platinum too. Platinum's one big range. So like there's some interesting areas there in the metal space if you wanted to pare back on gold, because it is a little bit stretched, tactically speaking. So I am a little bit mindful of that. Maybe gold's best days might be behind it for now.
Nice base in palladium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of interesting there. But the trade-off is it never develops into anything.
What about throw up slide 7, please, Spencer. So what I'm seeing here is a little dance that's been happening between the United States dollar and the US 10-year yield. Dancing together. The US dollar and the US 10-year yield are at the exact same levels that they were 1 year ago today. Literally.
Yeah, I struggle with these charts. They're overbought in questionable trends. And I don't know.
Questionable trends, it's more of like a lack of trend. Is that what
a
you
lack
mean?
of, yeah, exactly. You just said it yourself. Same price as a year ago. There's no trend here.
How do stocks like the dollar and bond and rates at the same price as they were a year ago? Seems like they like them pretty good.
They like stable macro. They don't like on fire macro. That's when things get upset. You get an upset stomach for equities.
Yeah.
So like, would I want to chase these here? Not necessarily. I could be wrong. But overbought and questionable trends is really not something that I think is very profitable. And we've seen it in oil the whole time this year. Oil gets a bid and then completely comes in again. And it's happened multiple times where it looks like oil is going to stage a move, and then the big picture trend comes into play where there's just nothing, or it looks terrible. So I'm curious. I'm sure there's going to be so much noise, I think, in the next 24 hours with these two assets.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to lean into it, but I just go back to that. Okay, there's no trend. They're overbought with no trend. That is just not a great place to be. If they maintain the overbought condition and continue to higher, okay, maybe that's different information. Maybe we got to start thinking differently.
All right, Todd Sohn. Let's play a little game here. We got the volatility index at 22. We all know how historically advantageous it is to overthink the volatility index, right? So let's go ahead and do that today. The VIX at 22. What does the VIX hit first? 30 or 14?
Oh, 30. Sorry, Todd.
Ooh, 30 is the enticing answer. And if it hits 30, you go out and buy stocks.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, VIX at 22, 8 points to the upside gets you 30, 8 points to the downside gets you to 14. Strazza and Todd are saying 30. Chat, you guys agree with that?
Listen, it could happen fast though.
That is true.
It could happen.
You could do both pretty quick, right?
That is true.
Things are fluid on November 5th.
All right, now let's make it a little more difficult here. Ready? Volatility index again at 22. What do we see first? 25 or 19?
25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strazza?
You talking about the VIX still?
Uh-huh.
Easily 25.
Wow. With the put call ratio making new 52-week highs, you're betting that the VIX goes higher?
Yeah. Again.
Wow. I don't know. I'm thinking we fade these guys.
Todd,
What do you guys think?
Todd, how often do you think about the put call ratio?
We look at it every day, but for the last
every day. Tell them, Todd.
we look at it every day. Although for the last few years, it's really been noise. But like yesterday and I think Friday were the first time it was like, oh, something different. Put volume spiked.
Like big time, 52-week highs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard.
Over 120. I'm trying to remember the number, but it was big.
You guys agree with Dawson here? Trump 14 VIX, Kamala 30 VIX. Do you agree with that?
I think
Politics aside, markets only.
I think it's a high VIX either way for like
high VIX either way
for like
man,
an hour.
No.
For like an hour. Maybe
I
I'm
don't
wrong.
know. Like, dude, the VIX is at 22 with the stock market at all-time highs.
That's
right?
it's
And you
straight.
guys
The VIX
think it's going to
curve.
go higher.
The VIX curve is inverted.
Yeah?
When the VIX curve is inverted, you want to buy stocks. It's just funky because we're at an all-time high.
That's weird.
It's just very strange, but it's very bullish too.
All right, 6 months from now, we look back. So 6 months from now is what? December, January, February, March, April, May. So Cinco de Mayo, right? Cinco de Mayo, do I have that right? Cinco de Mayo, so we're drinking Cinco de Mayo, we're drinking margs, right? Drinking margs Cinco de Mayo at Rio Grande over Murray Hill, hypothetically.
Not blockheads?
What's that?
Not blockheads?
Wow, is that still around?
No, I think they're all closed.
Oh, wow. What about Dukes? Is that still there?
Oh, we got to pour one out for Dukes.
Shout out Dukes. And Brother Jimmy's. I mean, what is happening to this world?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so Cinco de Mayo, 6 months from now, we're looking back at the biggest winners since the election. Who's got solar in China on the bingo card?
Dude,
Solar's kind of interesting to me because it's so bad and it might be bottoming. I struggle with the China thing.
Didn't we just see the biggest momentum thrust in the history of Chinese equities? Does that sort of thing tend to happen early in cycles or late in cycles, Mr. Sohn?
Always early, but with China, I never trust it because the data is so bad.
I'm just saying.
I'm being ignorant on this one. But the solar one, I'm kind of interested in because that maybe bottom fishing.
So think about the setup for solar. For me, it's all about sentiment, right? So we're talking about how potentially the reason JC asked this question is potentially these stocks are bad if Trump gets elected. You don't want them. They're already in a 70% drawdown at the industry group level off of their 2021 highs.
In a bull market.
Yes. You look at something like Enphase Energy, which is an industry leader, just had a phenomenal earnings report. They're 75% off of their highs in late 2022. So, and now you're telling me
interest?
That because of an election and a new president who's going to come in, that these stocks are going to get killed. They've already been killed. The sentiment setup here is really, really nice.
I was looking at TAN yesterday.
Yeah, that's in like a 68% drawdown.
Yeah, they've been terrible. Everything's gone nuclear, like literally go nuclear.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I like First Solar there, which is that's become more of an AI play. Doesn't look like any of the others. And then I think Enphase, the wild card. You got some really sketchy ones too, like the SunNova, the Sunrun, Chinese solar energy companies. I mean, you could really go dumpster diving in this.
I'll tell you. So here's another one to look at then. If you're bullish China, and maybe to an extent, I don't know if solar plays into this. Look at REMX. That's one of Jan's funds.
This is like lithium, rare earth. A lot of other metals that I can't pronounce and have never heard of. This is what they.
I think this is another.
That's my bullish indicator when it comes to rocks that I can't pronounce.
Yeah,
that's how you know that you need to buy them.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
That indicator.
Shout out
that's
to
another
it
one
looks
that
a lot like lithium. It's a lot of lithium, I think, to be fair. It looks very similar to lithium.
It's a fancy lithium label. But the way, if you guys are, if you're bullish those two areas, then this is another way to play it.
No, I like it.
Less attention too, I think. Why Jan has that fund, I have no idea.
Final trade. Todd Sohn, you're buying one thing today. What are you buying? You can short it too. What are you doing?
S&P? That too boring?
It's not. It's not
Can
too
I be
boring.
boring? What's wrong with S&P?
Nothing. Long S&Ps. All right.
What's wrong with the S&P?
Yeah.
Mag 7? I don't know if I want the Mag 7.
Dude, how about the fact that the S&P 500 gave us 0 of the returns for SMCI and all of the losses? How about that?
Immaculate. But they do have Palantir now, though. Dude. Palantir is in the S&P. So.
Final question. These betting markets, you think it's a fugazi or you trust these things?
Oh, man. Dude.
Seriously, it's a valid question. You trust them or no?
I think you can. I will grow to trust them, but I just don't know if there's enough liquidity. Is that
you will grow to trust them as the day goes on, or as the years go on?
As the years go on.
Okay, all right. So you don't think that as the day progresses, those betting odds are going to be more and more accurate?
No, I'd rather just go with the market, the actual asset class.
I agree.
And then so what? If S&Ps are rallying into Trump victory, if S&Ps are getting hit, then Kamala's winning?
No, S&P's doing what it wants. S&P don't care. It's the honey
So you're back to the dollar?
I'm back to the dollar. I'm back to
the dollar's going
yield.
up. It's a Trump victory? I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that's right.
Here's what I'll make.
I think dollar down if Trump wins. Stocks up. That's the way we like to.
It depends on
either way.
It depends too on how the world is doing. We're just saying Trump wins. What else is happening? I kind of need more information.
What else is going to happen in the next 24 hours, Strazza?
Listen, I don't know. Like you said, it's all sunshine and rainbows here with U.S. politics. So probably nothing.
I don't know about sunshine and rainbows. I just think it's another day. I don't know what.
I'm excited for it to be done with.
You want my election call, guys? If we have a decisive winner tonight, and one of the candidates does the thing where they congratulate the other candidate. You fucking limit up. It's over.
All right, hold on. Before we let Todd go, Todd, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy.
Whatever.
I appreciate you being
I got
here.
as much time as you want. All
right, ready?
And
Goldman Sachs yesterday. Trump wins with a Republican sweep, 25% probability. S&Ps rally 3%. Trump wins with a divided Congress, 30% probability, 1.5% rally in S&Ps. Harris wins with a Democratic sweep, basically 0 probability. S&Ps are down 3%. And if Harris wins with a divided government, which actually Goldman's giving it a 40% probability, you're looking at S&Ps down 1.5%.
Can you imagine?
That's Goldman Sachs.
Can you imagine the analysts that had to take time out of their lives to do that study?
You don't think that's, hold on. I like making fun of sell-side analysts as much as the next guy, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't think that's I think that's pretty right. You don't think that's right?
I mean, it sounds smart, but who the hell knows?
No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But as much as I would like to make fun of Goldman Sachs,
let me tell you something.
Right. No?
Nobody knows. And my recent experience of this was when I was at Game 5 of the World Series last week, and the Yankees were up 5-0. I'm like, we got this. Back to LA.
No.
Ain't nobody know nothing.
No.
If JC asked me to do a study like that, I'm going golfing.
JC ever asked you to do a study like that? JC's lost his shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're good about that.
I'm just saying. I don't know how we do a lot of Excel work, stats, backtesting. I just don't know how you model that stuff. It's just totally finger to the wind.
I think he's just making it up.
It's fun.
I feel like most of the sell-side analysts are just making shit up.
There's definitely a lot of making stuff up. I mean,
that's what they do.
That's why the best thing I can do is look at history and what has happened on prior elections and just say, okay, market's up. You're pretty good for the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, but charts only look at the past, Todd.
I know, a serious problem, right?
You know what price action will be interesting tonight based on this? I'm curious to see what China's doing.
Yeah.
China's a wild card. I have no idea.
I think China's up double digits. Limit up tomorrow.
I think there's
So
a good
would
chance.
you buy MCHI? Would you buy the Dragons from our guys at Roundhill?
FXI, pick your
FXI.
poison. I mean, they're all going to move together.
The small ASHS, is that the small cap one? I think.
All right, now you're just showing off.
ASH
He's just
ASHR
rattling
is
off
the-
ETFs no one's ever heard of. Now you're just- it's too much.
ASHR is one of those A-share roadmaps like KBA.
It's too much.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like
One
flexing
belt, one
the mirror
road.
at the gym.
OB.
Are you that guy? Do you take selfies at the gym, Todd?
Definitely take
No,
selfies.
no
Definitely.
selfies. I'm the only one in there.
Selfie guy.
No selfies. I'm not lifting huge weights. I exercise, but I'm not jacked up like Hulk Hogan.
Listen here, brother.
See, Ric Flair's been getting some play on my feed.
Woo!
I mean,
Woo!
this is totally off topic. Mr. McMahon, great documentary on Netflix.
I know.
I gotta
need
watch
to
it. It's
see
on my list. Okay, it was good.
Everyone in the chat should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to see
Great
it. All right, Todd, go do your thing. Go call your guy from DC or whatever it is that you guys do.
Shout out
Thank
Greenwich,
you.
Connecticut.
Hey,
Uh,
TV
shout,
show.
out, shout out Connecticut. Can we throw up slide 2 because this is something that I need to chime in on because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable what's happening right now in the market.
Tell me.
Throw up slide 2, Spencer.
Why are you mad?
I'm not mad. It's more
Why are you mad?
disappointed. It's more disappointed. So there's a form S1 filed yesterday. Hot Mom International Inc. Right. So if there's a form 4, Freudian slip.
Is this a
Form
pool
S1
company?
is an S1 filing. Hot Mom International. I mean,
Is
the
this a-
perfect opportunity for the greatest ticker symbol of all time, and they don't do it. They squander it.
Is this a pool installation company? I've seen these billboards.
No,
No,
it's like hot, like legitimately like hot moms and like competitions and like yeah. It's like a legit hot mom thing. Like, so like, how is the ticker symbol not MILF? I mean, come on. Like they squandered such an opportunity. This is unacceptable. Does nobody like to have any fun anymore? Like, how is the ticker symbol not MILF?
According to the filing, I'm reading here.
So
weird.
there's these billboards.
This is serious bullshit. Like, I don't get like disappointed about most things, but like, come on,
Wait,
nobody's allowed to have any fun anymore.
Wait, I want to read you. The group markets to hot moms aged 22 to 65 who pay attention to life quality, love traveling and fashion, and have the desire to show themselves. I don't really know what any of that means, but all right.
That's not the point. It's the ticker symbol.
This is a business.
This is apparently it's
real
a
business. But like,
Spencer said it's real. It must be real.
you have
They
one
have,
shot to get this ticker symbol right. It's so obvious to everybody.
Yes.
And they choose. Hold on. It's so dumb. They chose. What's the ticker symbol? I think it's LAMA llama.
This is the story I was just trying to tell. Josh nailed it in the chat. So you're driving up to Miami and like Homestead, there's the most hilarious billboards. There's a big billboard with like a woman in a bikini. It goes, "Your wife is hot." And then you got to keep driving. And the next billboard says, "Get her a pool, call 1-800-POOLS" or whatever. It catches your attention is my point.
Is that like the hunk? There's like a thing like young hunks or something where like college kids come and like
junk luggers.
yeah.
what is it called?
Dude, there's so many of those businesses. We got
Young
the
hunks,
good
something
grief
like
down
that?
here. Huh?
Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there because like seriously, like what kind of world do we live in that the ticker symbol for this company is not MILF? I mean, it is just I'm sad for society.
No, we get it. You wanted it to be MILF. We understand.
It's not that
All
I
right.
wanted it to be MILF. It needs to be MILF. Like,
Steve,
okay,
this
Harley
company-
Davidson, the ticker symbol is HOG.
This company doesn't have an auditor yet. It's not like they're on the market.
It's
For an
llama,
auditor.
LAMA, as in
That's-
Mama Llama Red Pajama.
Did I just see an S1 filing? If they filed an S1, they have an auditor.
I don't. Is that what that means? Okay, fine.
Your auditor may have quit. That sort of thing
All
happens.
right, whatever.
They
If
have one.
I was auditing this company and they didn't choose that ticker symbol, I would quit.
Wait, can I read some quotes from Alex Karp?
Yeah, like why are we skipping over this? Because I have some also.
Oh, no.
This
All right.
guy, if you're interested in Palantir and you don't know who this man is, he's one of the top CEOs who's currently doing it. He's on my list now with Brian Armstrong and Dark Hay. Amazing. the way he talks about his company just really turns me on. Go ahead, Spencer.
All right, so what are we actually up right now in Palantir? We're up 17, almost 18% today. So here's some quotes from last night. We absolutely eviscerated this quarter, driven by unrelenting AI demand that won't slow down.
This was the first sentence in the press release, by the way. This was the most like savage, just boss press release I've seen in a long time.
My favorite was, given how strong our results are, I almost feel like we should just go home.
He said that before the Q&A, dude.
Said that.
He uses strong language. He's a passionate man. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
All right, last one. Instead of going into every meeting saying, quote, oh yes, Palantir is great, but their fearless leader is batshit crazy and he might go off to his commune in New Hampshire or whatever they're saying, now it's, yes, the products are best and we have great products.
So he talks about this. They literally just started selling on the commercial side of things, right? The government business has always been there, but now they're really turning up the gas and trying to grow their commercial US business where they're selling to other, Fortune 500 companies. And if my computer stops freezing, I want to read the way he talks about it. So also, JC, the stuff this guy says about sell side analysts and short sellers, you heard his comments about short sellers and how they just try to kill great American companies to fuel their cocaine addictions.
Well,
insane.
we know some short sellers that do have cocaine addictions, and they're not around anymore. The internet kicked them off.
You know how I feel. One of them's in prison. So he said, people have been saying that we're overvalued for the last 20 years. People have been saying that our products won't make us profitable, that we would not become a juggernaut, we would not become gap profitable, we would not get into the S&P. And keep saying that about us. We love it. It discourages people from doing anything like what we're doing, and we are winning. Why are we winning in US commercial? Because we learned in the government that what makes AI valuable is the ability to manage the algorithms or large language models. Few financial analysts, then he talks about a financial analyst waking up in a Motel 6. They have an opinion about our large language models. It's completely theoretical and idiotic. If you want to manage large language models or AI, the infrastructure that allows you to manage them is where the value is. And then he goes on to say, the analysts completely don't get it. Our commercial American customers do get it. And despite the fact that we barely have a sales team and that I'm providing my pontifications of truth, including America is a great country, which many of them don't like, our allies deserve protection, Israel's in the right, whatever is pissing them off, guess what? They are still buying our product. And the reason they're buying it is because our ontology and our AIP allow you to deploy and use AI in a way where it changes your margins, it changes your go-to-market, it changes your ability to kill or take out adversaries in a much safer way with much lower costs. And American companies are dynamic and interesting and run by some of the best people in the world. So they adopt it. So he just goes after it. So we're in the business of making our commercial customers work. And we have a ton of player haters. So keep on hating us.
I love that he said we have a ton of player haters.
Oh, he's hilarious, man.
I don't think there's really an R in player. I think it's play a hater.
But the point is, they're just turning on the gas right now. They're just starting to sell this thing, and they believe that every S&P 500 company will become a customer. They have to in the future. So the total addressable market here is absolutely insane. You don't know how big this business can grow to. Also, when you're dealing with government contracts, it's one of the most highest margin business in the history of the world. Okay, it's absolutely insane. That's them. So is the company expensive? It's been expensive. People have been telling me you can't buy Palantir for years. It's too expensive.
20%. You want to talk about a gap and go? This son of a bitch is up 20%. You got let's just fill in. The market is open. Let's just tell everybody what's going on. You've got the Donald Trump SPAC up 14%. Dog with Hat up 12%. Doge up 11%. Book of Meme up 14%. You got the NASDAQ 100 futures up 2/3%. Dow futures are up 70 points. You got S&P futures up about 0.5%. Crude oil up 1%. Copper up 1%. Silver up 1%. Things are moving. Bitcoin up 3%. That's 2,000 points. Back to 70,000, by the way. Does this smell like a Kamala victory, or does this smell like a Trump victory, or too early to tell?
way too early to tell.
All right. Is the market a forward-looking discounting mechanism,
Not
or is
always
it
right.
backwards looking?
That's not always right.
The market
The
is
best.
always right, Spencer. Don't come to me with that weak shit.
Okay.
Price pays, baby. I don't know if you heard. Price pays. The question is, do they stick the landing? That, I think, is what Spencer's talking about, right? Because to Spencer's point, the futures market is not always the best indication of the future, right, Spencer?
That is true. That is true. One thing I am looking forward. I am looking forward to seeing how the market reacts tonight. I don't actually remember. 2020 was weird because everybody voted by mail. We were all home, and I only remember what the market
I
did.
went to the polls.
Whatever. 2016 was a night I'll never forget for sure. I was at the office till midnight that night, just watching things develop and watching the markets react. This is not 2016. Obviously, it's much more of a toss up now than that was. Even though that was a huge upset. So I'm just very excited to see how things react.
You know what I'm mostly excited for, Spencer? This is the first election that Americans or anybody is able to trade individual stocks as the election results are coming in, right? Like we've had futures, you had crypto, but now you can trade individual stocks tonight. Like that's cool.
What are you referring to?
You could trade in the 24-hour markets on Robinhood.
Well, that's been around. I mean, that's been around.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's brand new. Brand new, dude. Since last week, these guys.
This is the first election that you can trade stocks in the after hours on American exchanges.
There's been.
They have no line. Robinhood, they'll do anything.
There's been for years a very small list of securities that you can trade 24 hours a day on Thinkorswim.
Doesn't mean that people do it, but this is the most it's ever been. Like you're going to be able to see Tesla, DJT, Palantir, small caps, regional bank ETFs. Like you're going to be able to see that at 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. Like you don't think that's cool?
I'm going to sleep.
No, I'm curious. I mean, congratulations to the other people on the other side of those trades. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just think it's whether you're going to trade these things or not isn't having the information of the prices of these assets.
It might be meaningless, but nonetheless, it's interesting.
If you bought stocks in the after hours following the election in 2016, you were
I
like
did
rich
not
the next
because
morning.
I was drinking too much, and I said I can't. I don't trade when I'm drinking, and I was drinking that night, and I didn't buy futures. I thought about it. I was going to, and I did it, and I'm still bummed out about it.
Here's the thing, JC, right? Because people could get hurt here, right? So the volatility is probably going to hit, and then it likely fades. However, if we get like a monster upside reaction, I'm not saying chase it, but I wouldn't fade it. I wouldn't fade it.
Do we have? Is Pat coming in today or no?
Mm-hmm. We got him. He's in the house.
I want to ask Pat about milks.
I texted.
Bring in Pat.
God, please, Lord.
Here we go.
Pat, can you believe this shit? Hot Mom International files their S1 and the ticker symbol is not MILF. Like,
I swear to God, every time I jump in here, you guys are talking about the craziest stuff.
It's not. Hey,
not crazy.
Not all of us.
Strazza was just talking about how disappointed he is with the world the way it is today. I think I'm gonna agree with him. This is unacceptable. No one's allowed to have any fun anymore. Like this bullshit.
I will say they've been getting more creative with the tickers lately, though. In the last few years,
what's the best ticker symbol?
Oh man, maybe. I mean, Moo is a good one.
Moo is a good one. Moo's a great one. YOLO's a good one.
Yup. There's some good cannabis ones too.
Coke.
MJ, I mean, that's just a classic.
I feel like Rick's Cabaret could have been a little more creative there.
I could think of some. Hey, Patrick, did you have a really long weekend?
It was a normal weekend. Why?
Patrick texted me yesterday at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm on a call with Alfonso. Dude, we were laughing out loud. Pat goes, "Who has an earnings report on a Tuesday?" Like, Pat, it's still Monday, buddy.
No. I was saying I thought it was on a Tuesday. I was saying who would have it on a Monday. I didn't think it was Tuesday.
You thought yesterday was. You thought yesterday was Tuesday.
No.
Pat,
Nice try.
it's not too late to change your clocks an hour
Yeah,
back.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like saying that
Yeah.
happened.
Pat,
That happened
listen,
this
you got
weekend.
your ear to the ground. What are people talking about? What are they seeing? What are people so scared about? VIX at 22, put call ratio hitting new 52-week highs. They're killing our squirrels. They're eating the dogs. Tell me, what's
killing the
going on out
squirrels.
there?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff in the VIX too. A lot of eyes on the VIX, more than usual, I'd say. And then just a lot of comparisons to the last few elections, and like maybe too many comparisons. Like I find myself thinking it's going to be the same playbook. You know, maybe small caps will rip after like the last two elections, but you know, things never repeat exactly. So we should always be prepared for scenarios that we haven't even seen before, right?
These guys are thinking, both Sohn and Strazza think that we're going to see VIX 25 before VIX 19. They think we're going to see VIX 30 before VIX 14. I don't know. I'm confidently taking the other side of that.
You know, JC, if we do though, I'd say bullish, you know, because we
Yes.
saw what did we saw the VIX blow out to, what was it, like 63 or something crazy like that?
If the
And-
VIX
and
goes to
S&P
30,
was off
you flip the buck long.
Yeah, the S&P was off like 3% or something like that. So we've seen that before.
If you go back to 2016, I can almost guarantee you that it spiked to 30 and then was back to 15.
Yeah, you're
the
probably
next
right.
day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do both.
Yeah, but the
do both.
difference is back in 2016, nobody actually thought that Trump had a chance, especially Hillary Clinton. Oh my God.
Awesome. That was so awesome.
There's an
What a
SNL
reaction.
skit where Amy Poehler
Yeah,
was playing
I know.
Hillary, and then Hillary came on, and they were like, it was like Hillary from the future talking to Hillary from the past. It was really, really funny. But basically, they were just laughing at the fact that like she's not competing against anybody. Like the rhetoric was like, this guy has no chance.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it was a surprise for the market. I don't think this time around the market's positioned for that.
No.
Like I don't think it'll be that big of a surprise if Trump wins.
No, either way, it won't be that big a surprise.
But it was back then.
Of course.
Yeah, I remember going into election night 2016 thinking like Hillary's going to for sure win. Like, why are we even, you know, it's not even a contest. But
And then the future started moving.
yeah,
She
and then
thought-
you remember the
she
Carl
thought she
Icahn
was
he
gonna-
got on CNBC. He was just like, I was buying the futures. He's like, I was at an election party and I was just buying the futures. I went home early.
You do a great Carl Icahn. I like that, Pat. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
This is when Carl Icahn was still rich back then. Remember?
Wait, he's lost it all? Oh yeah, I guess
No.
IEP.
He's fine.
Too soon? Too soon?
He's fine.
Yeah,
He's so
Uncle
okay.
Carl's doing just fine.
Come on, Uncle Carl. It's time to retire, buddy. Let it go. You're killing your family.
If you're a hedge fund manager, do you pick a side or you stay out of it?
Like, do you like go out and
If you're
like,
one of these guys.
like promote a candidate?
You see some of them picking sides. You see a lot of them staying quiet. You see some of them picking sides silently with their money.
Listen, in
I don't know.
America, you can do anything you want. Like, I don't criticize people for who they're voting for, or who they're promoting, or whether they're staying quiet or not. Like, this is America. We have the right to do these things. I love that.
It's really interesting the way that the different business figures are kind of coming down and really like facing off with each other.
Yeah, you know, you
this
see it a
election.
lot in California
Really?
with some of these
Seriously.
VC guys in the Bay Area, betting, now moving Republican, and then old school liberals that
Yeah.
don't like that, and they're old
lot of that.
pals. And yeah, you're seeing that.
I think you nailed the dynamic. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Let's do a little recess. And,
All right. So we're going to
blow
talk
this
more
popsicle
about
stand.
this. Let me get this straight. We're going to talk more about
Oh yeah,
this
as soon as
tonight.
the futures are open at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna be there. Double fisting.
I'm coming to crash the party.
Okay, I was thinking we'd go live a little later, like at 7, because when the futures open, like they need time to dance, right? Plus,
Bullshit. I'm gonna be in front of my computer watching the futures market, so we might as well be dancing with them.
all right, fine,
So I taught my kid. I'll give you the recess now. Go ahead.
fine.
Hit it.
No Twitter.
So I taught my kids what double fisting is. And, so like I give him a cookie, and then like my son will be like, double fist, double. What's the second one? So he can. So it was accidentally because, like, you know, they're like, oh, I'm like, oh, you want a double fist? All right. And then now they just want to double fist everything. They eat chicken, they want double fist. They, you know, always two. I thought that was funny.
That is good. Speaking of food, I went to a cooking competition on Saturday night. No, I wasn't in the competition. I got to be like one of the judges / yeah, I guess a judge, right? It was two chefs in cooking different dishes simultaneously. It was like Chopped. It was like Chopped meets Iron Chef, and they cooked for us, and we raised our dishes. At the end,
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It was in Hoboken. I went to Hoboken, JC. I never do
Where?
that. It's called a Hudson's Table. Hudson Table.
You had never been to Hoboken?
I've been in Hoboken in like a very, very, very long time. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. Check it if you're they have a location. There's Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Stamford, Connecticut, and Hoboken. So check it out. Hudson Table.
Spencer's one of those people that uses the fake garlic when he cooks. He's one of those.
I'm not. You're not going to make me feel shame for that. I'm not embarrassed to admit
Should be.
that. I'm not. You won't make me embarrassed.
You can't do that, Spencer. Cut the goddamn garlic. Jesus Christ. You don't even have any kids. You got all the time in the world.
I'm seldom given a job in my kitchen, but I'm always.
I don't feel bad.
You
Sorry.
should.
I don't.
You should.
Pat, what do you do?
Important.
You chop
I'm with
garlic.
Strazza. It's too important. He's right.
Cube it. Yeah, I try to get it as fine as possible, but sometimes you just gotta get
No,
it in
you
there.
just want slivers, dude.
Yeah.
Slivers.
You're like the guy from Goodfellas with the razor blade.
No,
Yeah.
slivers
Most things.
work,
If you're starting
but you got to press it.
If you're no, you don't. If you're starting anything with a garlic base, right, and you're planning to just throw some olive oil in a pot with some garlic,
Yeah,
the slivers.
no, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It's a flavor.
All right.
Okay.
I don't feel bad. You can't make me feel bad for this.
Well,
Pat,
I'm just going to keep abusing you until you learn.
Pat or Steve, you got anything? So no spaces today, right?
No spaces today, yeah.
No spaces.
But I will be crashing your party tonight. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. What are we drinking tonight? What's the election beverage of choice? Barolo?
We'll leave that to the resident Psalm.
I am the resident Psalm.
It's not champagne.
Shit, I didn't apply. Fuck. I was supposed to apply for the advanced sommelier by November the 1st. Oops.
Does that mean you lost your license?
It's not a license, it's a certification. And no, now I gotta wait till next year. Not that I was gonna pass the test anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but I wanted to at least apply. Oh well.
Barolo might be a little bit light for tonight.
I was gonna say that's probably a liquor night.
I don't drink spirits at home.
You do you. I'm just
I don't
telling
drink spirits
you.
at home.
You know?
Not that there's
Barolo
anything
might-
wrong with that. I just don't. I drink wine at home.
Okay. That's fine. It's still alcohol.
All right.
Yeah.
You're like one of those guys like, I don't
Spencer,
drink
Spencer,
tequila
were you like
at night.
Gordon Ramsay at this cooking competition?
No, there was no
Gordon Ramsay
Gordon.
uses real garlic, bro.
No, let me tell you, I had the best ice cream of my life at this thing because they had an ice cream maker, and one of the chefs made their own ice cream, and it was unbelievable. I never had ice cream like that before. It was like in between soft serve and hard serve. It was great. So and it's two of everything. It's 2 appetizers, it's 2 main courses, it's 2 desserts. Like
Now we're talking, Spencer.
I was
See,
double
that's what I'm
fisting, too.
saying right there. See,
Yeah.
you're not all wrong. You're spot on that one. All right,
You know what you call that?
That's
A real meal.
dinner, right?
Great.
Tell them. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. We got an election to vote for.
Yep, the Flow Show. We're doing that, Strazza? All right, 1 o'clock. Be
Yeah.
there for the Flow Show. Watch Sean and Steve put on an election options trade live, is usually what they do. Or not.
Or not. Or maybe not put on a trade.
And then we'll
have
be
to
doing
see.
our stream tonight, I guess, when the futures open.
Hell
at
yeah, I'm gonna be right
6.
here YOLOing away.
We'll see you guys there. Smash the like.
JC's gonna live trade the election. Don't miss it. He's
Gonna
gonna
be a
share his
mess.
screen. He's gonna be trading Robinhood.
It's going to be a mess.
After
We'll see you
hours.
there. Go vote.
Now-
Take care.